Hello, this week we'll be dealing with the walls in Worksheet D. We've worked down through doors and now we're going to do the walls, and of course we're going to start with a north facing wall from the Vatilo House. This is the Vatilo House in Birmingham airport area in Alabama. So let's start by taking a look at our information we have. So we'll look at our survey first. And of course, on your J1AE, this will be the section right here that we're doing. And we need to explain some things first on these walls, because you'll have a few different types of walls you'll deal with. And this house actually has one of those situations. We have this north-facing wall. Of course, here's our entire envelope of our house here. Okay, and remember, envelope of a house has to have a vapor barrier and it must be insulated. So we got a situation here where we got a car garage. Like I said, this is a partition wall. This will be considered a partition wall because we have an attached garage. A garage atypically is not a living space. It can have a vapor barrier, it can be insulated, but atypically, if outside temperatures, let's say out here outside it got down to 12 degrees outside and we're heating inside our house, we want to keep our house 70 degrees. That means these walls here is the actual envelope, and this area here, you can consider it is, it's not going to be 12 degrees because there'll be some heat transfer right here because the garage is attached to the house. So these north facing walls where it's 12 degrees, it's a direct difference here. It's exposed completely to the outside wall. Partition wall, there's something in between it. Like I said, a garage, and when we deal with floors, if you got a crawl space in your house, the temperature in that crawl space is not going to be as cold as it is outside atypically. So these are things that we're going to have to deal with. So looking at our house, of course, we want to look at our information first. And this is our information we have here. It is a wall frame stucco, wood studs, R2 sheathing, R13 blanket, that's the insulation that's inside of it. Plasterboard, that's what the interior is coated with. And of course, it's 8 foot high. Now we need to know some information on our house too. And I've put this up here, 30 by 40. So we got 30 foot wide, 40 foot in length. And it's right here, same as your footprint. This house here has a flat ceiling, so the floor and the ceiling are the exact same diameter, same perimeter, I mean. Excuse me. Okay, so what are we going to deal with on this one? Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a north-facing wall. Now, you want to do all your walls that are actually exposed to exterior temperatures. And we can look at our worksheet D and you'll see this. You have above grade walls and partition walls for use when there's a temperature difference in the heating and the cooling. And then you have a below grade wall. Well, our house here is on a slab, so we don't have to worry about a below grade wall. So, but if you had a basement, this would be where that goes. If you have like a garage, that's a perfect example, you would use our partition wall right here. And of course, if it's exposed directly to the outside, we're just going to use an above grade wall. So, looking at our above grade wall, let's pull up our Vatilo House here. We've looked at the blueprint, and here we go. So I'm going to use this right here. Now, this right here, make sure you always get this right here. Like I said, it's your total square footage. But we're going to get all this right here before we get that number right there. So we're going to do the north, east, south, and west wall, and then we'll go back after we got all these calculations and we got our net square footage, and then we'll do this one right here, show you how to get that. Once we're done with that, we're going to move down here to partition walls. And as you can see, there's no basement because it's just a slab house. So we won't be dealing with any below grade walls. So looking at this information, I've kind of gave little pointers out on this. These walls here on step 8, and of course you can add more into here if you have a lot more walls, but these are only ones that are part of the envelope and exposed to the outside. Remember, like I said, partition wall, below grade wall, totally different area down here we're going to do. As always, we'll have our HTD, CTD up here at the top of it, and we'll get that information from worksheet A that we did. And remember, these are columns, so this is column here, and then of course this would be column 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we always want to work from left to right. And of course, information, location, like I said, this little area in the column, right up under the column number right there, is going to tell you where do you go and get this information from. Now, if you remember in doors, we didn't have exposed slab edge because that's going to be our floor, and we didn't have a group number. Well, this time we will have a group number because walls have group numbers. So we're going to start right here by figuring out how did they come up with this 12C-2SW-stucco north. Well, pretty much from that we can ascertain that it is from a north-facing wall. So we're going to go back to our survey here, and this is the north-facing wall. We don't count the partition wall because that's a separate calculation, so we're just going to do this part right here. Now, lucky for us, they've already did the square footage of it. We know this wall is 22 feet long, but once again we always want to figure out what is our square footage. This is just feet, so we got the length. Now we need the height on it. The height information is found right up here at the top, right after plasterboard. It's 8 feet high. So total length of the house was 40 feet. Wall height is 8 feet. North wall by itself is just 22 feet. So this from here to here is 40 feet, but from here to here, right there, it's just 22 feet. So we got 22 feet. We have some more information here that's not going to be used on this calculation, like the door. That'll be used when we do the partition wall. And we got a couple other bits of information that may come in handy at a later date, but not right now. So this is pretty much all you need, and we need to know this window right here, because we're going to get the total square footage, and we're trying to figure out the BTU load, or how much heat can get through and back out this wall right here based upon its construction up here. And we don't want to calculate the window because we've already did the windows in worksheet B. So basically you're just going to take 22 times 8, the height of it, and that's going to give you the total wall square footage. That's with a window in it. And then we're just going to subtract that window out of it. Okay. So let's take a look at the worksheet and start working there. So first thing we got to do is construction. So the construction tells you it comes from table 4A, and we know what the construction is because we got that on the worksheet. So table 4A here. Okay. And there's your 12. And I'm going to close some of this right now so we can take a better look at what we actually have. So frame with stucco wall, wood stud, R2 sheathing, R13 blanket in the wall, plasterboard on the inside, 8 foot high. So construction, when you're going through your tables, table 4A, there's your 12 right there. So let's go back to the Vatilo House, and they got 12C-2SW-stucco north. Okay. Now when you're looking at this table, things to pay attention to: exterior finish code. Is it brick or is it stucco? Now this could also be siding, like vinyl siding on the side of your house. So if it's stucco or siding, we'd use the S code. If it's brick veneer on the outside, we're going to use B. framing code. Like I said, W is wood. So this is where some more of these letters are coming from. So like I said, so we got a 12C, construction number is 12, so there we go. And then we're going to look down here through our table, and you see it's got certain sections here. No insulation in the stud cavity, R11, 2x4 stud cavity, R13. Alright, so that's ours right there. We know we got R13 blank into the wall. So it's 12C, and then we got to figure out this part down here. Well, here it is right here. We got siding. And remember, siding equals stucco. So we got the same frame construction, insulation inside, R2 board insulation. So all this checks out right here. And whether you're brick right here or siding right here, that's going to be whether you use this number up here or this number down here. Well, we're siding down here on the bottom. So 12C, just 2SW. 12C-2SW. And of course, what do we got? Siding? No, we got stucco. So we just type in stucco there. And then which way is this wall facing? This is the north side wall. So there you go. That's where all that construction number comes from. So now all we have to do is transpose all this information to our worksheet. Let me close some of these so we can clean it up a little bit. We don't need that anymore right now. And there she is hiding. Okay. So all we got to do is type in all that information that we had right there. Over here where I can see it better. 12C-2SW stucco north. Okay, I'm going to have to make that a little bit smaller. So we'll make this a little bit smaller so everything fits in there. There we go. Alright, so there we go. We got our first line done. Next is this column here. Let's get this over here where we can see a little bit better. It's our next column. We're going to go to the survey. What is our total length? Okay. So we go to our survey and our length is 22 feet. 22.000. Okay. What is the average height? Back to our survey. It says we have an 8-foot high ceiling. So we're going to put an 8 right there. And then, like I said, gross area, this is the next column right here. C2 times C3, so 22 times 8. All we got to do is use our calculator. 22 times 8 equals 176. And of course, that is square footage. Alright, next, area of opening in square foot. Alright, now we're going to assume, like a lot of people, you've never done this before, you're not really sure what that is actually talking about. So we're going to go back to the original worksheet and see what they came up with. So on the original worksheet, they have 24 square foot. So where did they get that 24 square foot from? Well, let's see what this is right here. We've got a window in this wall, so it's 72 inches by 48 inches, 3,456 square inches. And of course, we got to turn this into square feet, so we're going to divide it by 144, 24, right there it is. So this window is 24 square foot that we're actually going to take out of that. All right. So let's close some of this, 24. Alright, and now the net area. So now we get to actually subtract this. So we're going to take this column here, 176, and we're going to minus 24 square feet out of it, because we're just trying to calculate what the wall is by itself. So minus 24, and there you go, 152. And as you can see, I've highlighted this in a green, so you know this is something that has to go back to the J1AE, and any square footage in my calculations, I have them in a green color. Alright, next, exposed slab. Well, as you can see, this isn't dealing with a slab, so that area is grayed out. We can move on to column 8. Now, column 8 is also table 4A, and we have to get the U value or an F value. So we go back to table 4A, look down at ours, and of course, as you can see, the wall construction really determines what the U value of this is. And you come up here and you can see the U value with wood studs. So whether it's brick or siding on the inside, the U value of the wall itself is going to be the same. So 0.081. 0.081. Okay. Next is column 9, worksheet A, which we've got the information up here. We're looking for HTD. So our HTD is right there. And I'll pull this up here where you can see it better. 46. So we put 46 right there. And pretty simple, just keep moving along. Next, C8 times C9, column 8 times column 9. So we'll multiply this number times this number to give us our heating HTM that is going to go back to our J1AE. So slide this over again so we can bring the calculator up. 0.081 times our HTD, which is 46, and we get 3.726. And this is why I say you go to the thousandths place, because you end up with numbers like this. Alright, next part. Group number. We finally get to do a group number. Remember, walls have group numbers and everything, so we're going to actually work with this one here. Location says table 4A. So let's go to table 4A and see what it says. Go to table 4A, and this goes back to which one of these are you on. Okay, so ours was this one down here because we had siding. So that's going to give us a group number of D. Sounds kind of weird using a group number with a letter. So D. Now, moving on to the next one. This is going to go to table 4B, your CLTD or PTD-C. Alright, so we go to table 4B. This goes back to the CTD that we had for our place here, and we're looking at it, and it's 20. 20 is what our CTD is for looking up on table 4. So we're going to use 20 here, and it is a wall. So we go down here to the group number, and ours was a D, so we go to D. And then it's, are you a wall or are you partition? Are you exposed completely to the outsides that temperature, or is there like a garage or something where you're not exposed directly to the outside temperature? So let's do this one right here because we are an actual wall, and of course you're going to head across on this top row falling right to here. Now this one here we use, what was our CTD? Our CTD was 20 and our daily range was medium or M. So CTD of 20, medium M. So we make a column coming down. So where these two intersect right here at 24.5, that is our answer. So 24.50. Okay. And now finally, our cooling HTM, C8 times C12. So C8's right here, column 8. So we're going to use this number here, 0.081, and we're going to multiply it by 24.5, and we're going to see what we get here. 0.081 times 24.5. And we get 1.9845. Well, like I said, we're always going to round to the thousandths place, so this will be 1.985. Okay, and there you go. We've got all of that completed. This is the first wall that you'll do on the house. Like I said, we're going to do the east, west, and south. I'm going to have a separate video just on those and just run through those right there. And then I'll do one video just for the partition wall because it's a little bit different. Once we get all of these calculations down, like I said, we'll carry them over to our J1AE. So here's your master page right here and everything. And we can copy a lot of this information over. And I can close some of this down a little bit. Keep that. Okay. And so we can just take and copy. Let me get all of it. So we're going to take this number here, and we're going to go right here. Boom. All right, our heating HTM. Like I said, we got our net area square footage, a heating HTM, and a cooling HTM. So these are our main numbers. And let me bring back up this Vatilo worksheet. These are the main numbers here that you're going to bring back over. So this will be your square footage for each of the walls. This will be your heating HTM you come up for each of the walls. And this will be your cooling HTM you come up for each of the walls. Okay. So we're going to take each of these as we go left to right. Let's keep it simple. So first will be our heating HTM. That's going to be this number right here from column 10. Put it right in there. Boop. And then next would be our cooling HTM from column 13, and it's going to be our cooling HTM. And then finally we have our square footage, and it's going to go right here. Now once you got that done, now we can actually do our heating and cooling BTUs that this wall creates. Okay, so we're going to close this for right now. There we go. And we're going to just do the quick math here. So that way if you don't want to do anything out of order, like I said, a lot of the times I'll do the complete part of that worksheet area before I transfer all my numbers over here. But I mean, you can do it whichever way you want to. So let's do the first one here. Let's make this a little bit bigger where we can see a little bit better. There we go. So basically this is my heating HTM, my cooling HTM, and my square footage, how big the total area is. So 3.726 times 152 equals 566.353. And I'm going to have to shrink this down a little bit so I can see both of these at the same time. Okay, so we're going to take that number there, and that number goes right here. And remember, always go to the thousandths place. So if you had anything beyond that, just round up. Okay, next is going to be our cooling HTM, 1.985 times the total area that it is, 152 square feet. And we get 301.72. And there you go. And that's all the calculation that you have to do for that north facing window and how to find the information. The east, west, and south window are all done the same way. The partition wall is done a little bit different. In the next video, I'll go through each and every one of these steps on the east, south and west wall, you know, doing the same thing that we did right here. And then I will have a video just for the partition wall right there. Thank you.